Welcome to Jikonimagic, where wholesome foods are made real easy. Today we are making coconut burfi that's been covered in chocolate and topped with crushed peanuts. This is in response to Twinkle Gigi, who requested me to make desserts with an African twist. Now, Kenyan communities traditionally do not have desserts as we know them, and that is to say that ice creams, chocolate and the like. Most Kenyan communities take a fruit at the end of a meal and have that for dessert. The Kenyan coastal community has a lot of sweets and desserts, and this is mainly due to the strong Asian and Arabic influence found there. This recipe requires you to have sweetened condensed milk. If you do not have it, these are the steps that you can follow to have your own homemade condensed milk. To a sufuria, add 500 ml of milk, bring it to a rapid boil, and then add 100 grams of granulated sugar to it. Start stirring, let it come to a rapid boil, and then once it boils, reduce the heat to a medium simmer, and then keep stirring. Do not let the milk burn at the bottom, because it can really burn very easily, and let it just keep simmering, and it will evaporate eventually and it will thicken. Once your milk gets to this stage where it's just bubbling at the bottom of your sufuria, not really boiling over, your condensed milk will be ready. So turn off your heat, let it cool down just a bit, and then add 100 grams of desiccated coconut. Mine is unsweetened desiccated coconut. ,500 ml of milk, and 50 grams granulated sugar. You can add more if you prefer your Barfi to be much sweeter than this one. Turn on your heat and bring the mixture to a rapid boil. Make sure you keep stirring vigorously. Do not let this mixture settle at any one given point. Once it comes to this rapid boil, let it simmer on medium heat as you're vigorously stirring it. After about 7 to 8 minutes of cooking, you're going to end up with a mixture that's reduced and looking like this. So at this point, add 65 grams of unsalted butter, and then make sure that you stir it and mix it in very well so that it blends in completely. You'll just keep cooking it. Be patient with this Barfi. It might take a bit of time, but the results are really worth it. After a further 10 minutes of cooking, this is how the Barfi is going to look like. And at this point, add your custard powder. I started by adding 1 tablespoon of custard powder to just see if it would bind my Barfi together. You can just tell that it's not bound together, or it's bound together properly by how stiff the mixture becomes. By the way, mine was vanilla flavored custard powder, and so I ended up adding another half tablespoon of custard powder because I felt like my Barfi had not come together as perfectly as I would have wanted it to. And so at this point, I added a tablespoon of cardamom powder. You can add less or more to suit your palate. And so just keep stirring continuously, and you'll see the Barfi begin to follow your spatula or the spoon that you're using, and you'll know that it's time for you to pour it out. So spread it on a lightly oiled surface. You can make it as smooth and as beautiful as you'd like it to be. but I was making this Barfi for my nieces and nephews who are coming, and since I was still going to sprinkle some chocolate on top and peanuts, I didn't really see the need to make it all that smooth, but you can make yours as pretty as you want it to be like. So I sprinkled grated chocolate. I used baking chocolate because it's not as sweet as regular chocolate, and I also sprinkled crushed peanuts. These peanuts are salted. I like the mixture of saltiness and sweetness in my Barfi. You can use unsalted peanuts if you want, and then leave the mixture to cool down completely. And then come and slice it whichever way you want to slice it. And like I told you, this Barfi was for my nieces and nephews who were coming over, and so any shape would do. Here is my Barfi. This is how I cut it into small pieces that would fit my small nieces and nephews' hands, and we totally enjoyed it. Thank you for watching this video. Please join me again next time on Jikonimagic, where wholesome foods are made real easy. Thank you and goodbye.